Yeah, Hollywood, Tennessee, Hollywood AC. It's the show, man. Watch it. It's Hollywood in the big M town. How AC do it, man, 10 toes down. The show is on, so watch me now. Sit back and relax and turn up the dial. It's Hollywood in the big M town. How AC do it, man, 10 toes down. The show is on, so watch me now. Sit back and relax.
Welcome to the Hollywood AC Show. Today's guest is Jesse Dunlap. Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going all right, AC. How's it going with you?
Oh, all is well, all is well. Now tell the people, who is Jesse Dunlap?
I'm an actor, writer, and producer from South Memphis.
Okay.
I've done 6 films as an actor. I've directed a couple of television commercials. You may have seen one of the films. The film is called The Client, and another one's called Escape.
Okay.
I'm currently working with the Memphis Black Arts Alliance on a project. It's a show called Voices Afire.
Yeah, what is that all about?
Basically, Voices Afire, it's an open mic format where I showcase local talent such as poets, writers, singers, mimes, and musicians.
Okay, so how did you get involved with this group of people?
I've been involved with the Firehouse and the Memphis Black Arts Alliance for about 30 years now.
Wow.
And it's a funny story leading up to it. The former director, her name is Benny Ford Nelson West.
Okay.
Benny was a friend of mine, and they introduced me to Benny, and automatically chemistry flowed. She's been my mentor for the last 30 years, like I say, and she's afforded me the opportunity to do things that I hadn't done yet. I've gotten the chance to direct a television commercial for her.
Wow.
And we've worked on projects like a show that we do the last Sunday of every month. It's called Jazz Afire, where we showcase local and national jazz acts.
Okay.
And the show is held at the Memphis Sounds from 4 to 7 every last Sunday of the month.
Now how do people get in? How do they qualify to be on this show?
Okay, Jazz Afire itself, it has an open mic component to the second half of the show.
Okay.
If you are a singer, if you are a musician, you can get up and jam with the band because we got this thing we call BYOI, bring your own instrument.
Wow, I like that.
And it's a house full of world-class musicians. Now I think our next show is going to be December the 31st, and the headline is going to be Michael Townsend. And Michael Townsend is one great saxophone player. Okay. I've had the fortune of knowing Michael for a few years, and we've rocked out together. Okay. So I'm quite sure anybody who comes to this show is going to have a good time.
Okay. Now, you said you rocked out. Do you play an instrument yourself?
I'm a singer.
Okay.
I'm a singer and a dancer. I'm an entertainer. I'm an impresario.
All around talent. All around talent. Wow. So now, what are you doing? What are you working on other than the shows? You having a music project coming up or anything of that nature? Yeah,
I got a project, a music project that I've been working on for the last couple of months. Okay. I've recruited my nephew, Philip Dubon. He's a piano player.
Okay.
And we're working on some songs that we're going to premiere at my next show, my next Voices Afire show.
Voices Afire. Wow.
So I'll be doing my poetry along with my singing and a little bit of acting in this show. Okay. I get a chance to be a triple threat finally.
Okay. Now tell me this. You said you've been in some movies, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now how did that come about?
I was a theater major in college. I went to school at South. Well, first I did a semester at Mississippi Valley State.
Okay.
And I lived in the dorm, and I realized that I wasn't going to be able to sustain life on peanut butter alone. Peanut butter and ramyun was not making it for me. So after a semester, I left, and I joined the military.
Okay.
I joined the Army Reserves. And after my training was done there, I enrolled at Southwest. And I finally figured out what I wanted to major in. And that major was theater. I walked into the theater, and Ron Gephardt gave me a paintbrush.
Wow.
And from that, I learned lighting design, set design, and all of the rest of those things uh, to make a theatrical production happen. So I became a theater generalist.
Wow. Wow.
And with that being said, what I want to do is I want to be able to bring that to the masses. Those same things that I learned in theater, I like for other people to know those things and to feel that joy that I feel when I'm on stage.
Okay. Now, how would you do that? That's a good idea. Great idea.
There's an avenue for it. Like I say, the Firehouse is everything to me now. We're starting a new program for youth, and it's a
Okay.
multimedia. It's a multimedia class in which they learn post-production for film.
Okay.
They learn engineering and production for music, and they also do storyboards, and they do it's all computer generated.
Okay.
And there are a couple of scholarships. There's a couple of scholarships left.
Wow.
And if anybody wants some information, the telephone number to the Firehouse is 901-948-9522. That's 901-948-9522.
You mentioned the movie The Client.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that. What was that experience like?
It was a wonderful experience. At the time, I was working for the Blue City Culture Center, and we were doing several live plays. And so part of one of the people in the production company knew one of the casting directors for the movie, and they came to me with a proposition to be a day player in a film.
Wow.
So I didn't know exactly what part when I showed up on set, but it became clear that I was going to play one of the security guards that guarded the little boy in the hospital. And it turned into a 7-day job, and I got a chance to meet a whole lot of good people on the set. It was a nice experience.
Would it be something you would do again?
Oh, yeah, sure. I've done, subsequently, I've done, I think, 4 films after then.
Okay.
And I starred in a short film called Escape, in which I played an escaped death row inmate.
Wow.
That wasn't a real stretch in casting, though. I could play that part with my eyes closed.
Okay. Now, for people out there who want to get into acting, I know we look at TV, it look all glamorous. I know it's a lot of hard work that goes with that. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I was insulated against, and the thing that I was talked to more than anything else was that there are more things that happen behind the camera than there are that happens in front of the camera. So to be vested in those things would be the ideal situation, because from being a set designer, I learned to be a carpenter. And from being a carpenter, I make part of my living today. So all of those things that I learned in my past have a way of leading to my future and making my future a little bit brighter.
Okay. Now, you act, you sing, just all around talent. So what do you prefer? If you had a choice, where do your heart lie?
Okay, so it's hard for me to pick a medium,
Okay.
because art itself is so strong that it has a way of making you humble. So it has more to do with a spiritual quality than it does with a physical quality, because God leads me into my endeavors, and I take them and I interpret them and I use them as part of my daily being. So it's hard for me to pick a medium. I also like to paint, and I'm
Okay.
a wood carver.
Wow. Okay. Now what do you carve?
I do a myriad of things. It's according to what type of wood you use. I do staffs, walking canes. I do statues. I wish I had some of my artwork here now, but I'll get a chance to show you, and we'll do a show on that at a later date.
Sounds good. Now I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay then, AC.
Coming up in South Memphis, I've passed by the firehouse millions of times. Never paid any attention, but I do know that there are a lot of art that's been done there. For people like me and others. Explain a little more about the firehouse for us.
Okay, the Firehouse Arts Academy was started by Benny West, and it's an accredited community arts academy, and we do classes in every artistic medium. Let's say you wanted to learn to play guitar. There's a professional guitar player and a professional instructor there at the firehouse for you. If you wanted to play piano, there's a piano instructor there for you. If you want to sing, Naomi Moody is one of our singing teachers. And if anybody, some people know Naomi as being the daughter of Nat D. Williams, but she's also a world-class jazz singer. She's appeared on Broadway, and she's toured around the world. So what you get is you get a level of instruction that's superior to most places in Memphis, because all of our instructors are working professionals. So they teach what they do for a living at the firehouse.
Okay, now, as far as costs, do you have costs, or are they some type of grants or scholarships? Can you elaborate on that?
Some classes are paid. Some classes are paid for, and we have scholarships available. And we also are working on grants, and we have grants available.
Okay.
Like I was talking about the out-the-school youth program. There's some scholarships available for that. So if you contact the firehouse, they'll be able to give you more information.
Okay.
And the firehouse is located at 985 South Bellevue. And that number again is 948-9522.
Talented man, young man. I'm saying young man. You do poetry as well.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been doing that?
Well, I started doing poetry when I was in junior high school, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I was first published as a poet when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Actually, it came by accident. I ended up leaving a poem in a folder, and unbeknownst to me, one of my teachers sent it off to a contest, and it won $250.
Ooh. Now, did she give you some of that money?
Oh, I got the whole check.
Okay.
I didn't know it came in the mail. And after then, my mom told me, she said, boy, keep on running your mouth.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, I would like to do that first poem for you now. And it goes something like this.
Go ahead.
The name of the poem is Jesse at 15. It had no name in the beginning, so why name it now? And the poem goes, today, my girl said she was leaving, but she's going to miss me when she's gone. Why should I start at the ending? What better place is there than the beginning? I met her on a warm October's day with the sun shining in her hair and the jewels of love sparkling in her eyes. But she's going to miss me when she's gone. She's going to miss me when she's gone. As I sit in the corner with the thoughts chasing through my mind, I said to myself, you know, I'm going to miss her when she's gone. I'm going to miss her when she's gone. Now, that was the first poem. And what happens is that I think all poets evolve, and they go from love issues to political issues and back to social issues again. I had a time in my life when I was thinking about my idea of ancestry and where I came from, and I penned a poem that's still relevant to me today, and it's called The Blood of My Grandfathers. And that poem goes, the blood of my grandfathers flows deep within me. Their blood navigates and nurtures my soul like the waters of the ancient Nile. The blood of my grandfathers flows deep within me. Their blood flows through me warm and wet like the waters of the mighty Mississippi. The blood of my grandfathers flows deep within me. Their blood flows silky sweet like syrup in a summer sweltering heat. Yes, the blood of my grandfathers flows deep within me. Their blood flows like Shaka's great legions down a mountain steep. The blood of my grandfathers flows deep within me. Their blood flows thick and rich and deep. Now,
Now that's deep.
the juxtaposition to the poems. Both poems are about love. And I guess that's what I do best. I write poems about love.
Now let me ask you this: the first one, you were at 15.
I was 15 years old when I wrote that poem.
The second one, you just how old were you?
This was a poem in my 20s, in my mid-20s, when I was trying to figure myself out and what life was about. And I looked around me and I saw all of my uncles and my dad and all the rest of the male figures that had a powerful, had this thing in my life, and I wanted to express that, my gratitude for all of those things that they had done for me, and my sense of well-being. So it was a tribute to that.
You said in your 20s. I would expect it farther down the stretch because that's a very mature poem.
Yeah, well, it was just that glimpse into your life when you wonder what it's all about and how to put it all together. And like I say, I do basically poems about love. I got a poem I call The Celebration. And it goes, and this is after a relationship. And hindsight in relationships are always 20/20 vision. And it goes like this. It goes, today I celebrate. I celebrate the fact that I now know what's fiction. I have become wise. I can break things down to size. I now realize. So thank you for helping me see we in 20/20 vision. Our first dance, our first glance. You only looking for romance. And still I have all of my love to give. And my love flows. My love flows sweet like the smell of a summer Sunday silence. My love flows mellow and melodic like a Monday morning rain. Yes, my love flows. My love flows gentle like the rain. So they're short poems and they're concise poems. Trying
Powerful
to get,
poems.
yeah, but it's simply trying to get from point A to point B with a couple of sentences or an expression. So I've heard elaborate poems. I've heard poems with 4 and 5 stanzas. And what I try to do with my poetry is to express feelings in the shortest amount of times with a certain rhythm and a certain cadence to it.
I got to ask you this question. The poems are very unique. They're deep. You can tell that you are very intellectual, intelligent, and you put a lot into what you do. So do you use that same energy in everything that you do? Because you're very talented.
I always try to. I always want to leave a performance or an experience and not only have myself to have grown through the experience, but also for my audience to have grown. There's always been this symbiotic relationship between artist and audience. And I like to harness that energy, and it gives me something to work with, number one, as an artist. But as an observationist, I'm always looking for new things and new avenues. I just can't rest on my laurels now. I've been in this show business game for over half of my life. It's my chosen profession. It's what I like to do best. So that's the thing that inspires me.
In this entertainment business for you, has it been a real struggle in your journey?
I guess the good parts of it outweigh the bad parts of it. When you're doing what you want to do, it makes it a little bit easier. I've enjoyed the travel. I've enjoyed the part where you get to meet new people. And I've enjoyed the part where you get a chance to actually perform.
In this whole uh, concept, I mean, you're meeting people, you getting a chance to see different places and things. What is the if it's a frustrating side of it? What can get you down? Because there's so many people that actually want to, take that road that you're taking. They take that road.
Well, like my folks always told me, always have something to fall back on. But if it's your passion, you got to follow it. And even with the ups and downs of it, the journey has been worth it for me. But I can still say that even today, there aren't enough parts for black actors, and we see that today with the Oscar controversy. But not just on that level, and a theatrical level too. They are just not producing enough shows for black people, and there is a theater-going audience in the black community. If you look back to all the Tyler Perry plays and all of the traveling shows that have black cast, usually they do pretty good when they come to Memphis. Right. So I figured if you can't, if you have to be able to sustain yourself by producing your own work or finding works worthy of producing and getting the word out there so that you can develop an audience. And that's why I'm here today, to develop an audience for my future endeavors, my future shows.
Okay, because that's what I was just going to ask you. Would that be something that you'd be interested in doing, producing shows?
Like I say, I produce a show called Voices Afire. Mm-hmm. This is my own work. The concept for the name of the show came from Benny Ford Nelson West some years ago. But when we got the show back on, I do most of the production work for it. I do everything from recruiting talent to setting up the stage and everything else that has to happen. So I'd like to get involved with bigger productions.
Okay. So how do you think we can go about doing that?
We can go by doing it by collaborations. All arts and performance and production companies coming together and joining forces and creating an environment that nurtures and fosters the arts and performance.
Great idea. Great idea. Whenever you put that and go forward with it, look us up. That we would love to be a part of that production.
So, through the years, I've been watching the SC group, and I figure y'all would be perfect for me. It would be it would be an avenue for me to express some of my artistic gifts, and it would also help improve both of our brands. I've got a show, like I say, that's going to happen March the 18th at the Firehouse called Voices Afire. I'd like for the SC group to be a part of that show too, in any way possible.
Well, if we can't, we definitely will be a part of it. We appreciate. We're honored. We're honored. Thank you. We appreciate that. We can sit here and talk forever. Very, very great interview. Great interview. I enjoyed the interview. Looking forward to doing work with you. Now, how could people find more information about you? Are you on YouTube, Instagram, or anything?
Well, I have a social media following on Facebook. Okay. It's Jesse Dunlap. That's Jesse without the I, Dunlap. And also on Instagram. And I'm on a campaign now to have more of a social media following. But you can also contact me through the Memphis Black Arts Alliance or the Firehouse.
Okay. Now, I really enjoyed your poems, and I'm going to ask you to take us out with another poem, if you don't mind.
Okay, then I'd like to do a poem. It's another one of those. It's one of those poems where I put a lot of thought into it, and it's about me, basically. It's a poem about me.
Okay. Well, we're gonna enjoy it like we've enjoyed it, the rest of the poems that you did today, and once again, it's been a privilege with this interview with you today. Thank you so much. I wish you all the success, and shoot for the moon. You're bound to find a star, and we're gonna check out another poem.
I spin sound into syllables like satin into silk. I weave a web of words so loquacitous that it turns into milk. I nurture the masses. My truth everlasts. I can't change the past, but the future is mine. Together we fulfill the dream of nation of Nubian kings and queens, and the way we do it is we stay true to it because it takes a village to raise a child. Thank you.